Hey everyone, welcome once again to today's guidance. Friends, in this video we are going to cover the test of semi-strong form of efficiency. If a market is semi-strong, there are some tests which will evidence it, Now let's check. There are two tests I will be covering. The first test here, that is the residual analysis. Okay. So before I make you understand how this test is to be done, I give you some concept. Now you see, we know in a semi-strong market, we know that fundamental analysis is of no use and technical analysis is also of no use. Then how can I make some extra profit? I can make extra profit by private information or insiders information. This we have covered. Now how can I know the market is semi-strong or not? We will cover this test in this video, that is residual analysis. So I'll give you one concept. So suppose we expect, it is expected that anyone who invests in a market is supposed to get 200 rupees. And you receive 220 rupees. This is your actual return and this is your expected return. I am not going into very technicalities, making it easy first and then I will touch the technicalities. So expected return is 200 but you earn 220. So what is this? Excess. This is residual, or we can say this is an excess return. How much excess you got? Excess you got 20. Suppose my expected return is 180 and you got 150. Is there any excess? No. So there is a minus 30 residual, right? So this way what I will do, the word residual analysis is there. First I explained you what is residual in this connection. Residual is the difference between your actual return and your expected return. Okay. Now actual is something which you can calculate because you already know that a security, how can I find out the security's actual return? I get the dividend return and the price change P1 minus P0. So actual return can be calculated, right? So at any point of time I can calculate my actual returns because I can find out how much is my dividend income and how much is the change in the price. Okay, how much is the price change? P1 minus P0 divided by P0 will give me what is the price change. I can find out. But how can I find out the expected returns? The expected return from the market can be calculated, as I have already covered in my past video, that it can be calculated with the help of the characteristics line or the capital market line, which says that the return of a security X is something which is fixed, say for example the fixed dividend, plus something which you earn because of the market. Okay, so we have the market RM and we multiply with the beta of the security X and we find out how much is coming from the market and how much is the fixed return, right? So this expected return is coming here. So when I have this equation known to me, with the help of the equation I can find out if alpha is 5 rupees plus the securities beta is say 1.5 and the market return is 200 rupees, I can equate and find out what is my expected return of the security, right? So when I find out the expected return of the security is 200 by solving this equation for example, and I compare it with my actual return, I find that the market has given me something extra, 20, and here the market has given me something less than what is expected, right? Now the question is, econometricians, they have a specification, they call it y is equals to alpha plus beta x. That means how much is coming from y, how much is coming from x, and if something is not explained, means something you got here 200 but this side is 150, then what is that unexplained, what is that not coming? This is called error. Okay, so your 50 is your error, or we call it residuals, right? So here we have this residuals. Now how can I understand what is whether the market is efficient or not? Now you can understand that there are situations when you earn 20 rupees extra, something minus 30 investors have earned. Okay, this way you find the company's security XYZ company's security, you have compared and you found there is 20 minus 30, then you go on 15 minus 15, 10, 11, this way you calculate the residuals, right? Now if the sum of the residuals comes to 0 or close to 0, if it comes close to 0, then you can say that the market is efficient. But if it is not coming close to 0 but it is very far from 0, then you can see or you can understand the pulse of the market that there are some people who are earning more than what is expected, and this has been done by some kind of analysis or some kind of information, not analysis, sorry, some kind of private information or insiders information which helps them to trade in such a manner that they are able to beat the market because they are getting more than what the market model has specified. Okay, the sum of the residuals should come to 0, and then if this is so, then I can say that the market is efficient. So here are certain information and I will make it very simple for you to understand. So first thing is that we need to know what is our expected return and what is our actual return and the difference between the actual and the expected. Now first we have to know what is our actual return. So from the entire table you can see, please forget the first column. We have January, February, March, April, this way we have the period. You have the closing price of the index Nifty. This is the market index. And this is the company which we are considering for the study. This is company A. And this is the closing price of the shares of this company. Okay. This three information is just given to you, that the period, the closing price of the index and the closing price of the security of this company. From this we will first find out what is the market return and what is my actual return from company A. For knowing market return, what I will do, I will take this and minus this from this. That means 1100 minus 1000 divided by 1000. This will tell me what is the price or what is the price change of the Nifty, the closing price change of the Nifty, and I will convert in terms of percentage. So 1100 minus 1000 divided by 1000 into 100 is 10. 10% is the market return. Here 900 minus 1100 divided by 1100 into 100 is minus 18.18 is the percent is the market return. This way I am doing for all the closing prices of Nifty. Same thing I will do for the company's closing price, and that will give me my actual returns. Actual returns is the price change plus dividend. Let's exclude dividend in this case and let's take only this one. This minus this, okay, this minus this divided by this into 100, this minus this divided by this into 100. This way I find out the security's actual return also, right? This is from the company's closing price, this is from the market price. Now what is my expected return? Here you have to pay some attention. As I told you, expected return is coming from this equation. Expected return of a security is alpha. So for example, alpha is 5 plus 0.8 is the security's beta, because I told you Rx is equals to alpha plus beta times market returns. So let's assume that the beta is 0.8 in this case and 5 is alpha, and market returns is already given to me 10, 18 this way. So I calculated, I put alpha 5, beta 0.8 and Rm I am changing with these values 10 minus 18.18, 5.55. This way I get, this is the expected return. So I expected 13, I got 7.14. I expected a loss of minus 9.54, but I got a lot of loss in reality. I expected less, but I am getting more here. I am expecting this much loss, but I am getting more than this loss. This way I calculated the actual and the expected return. Since this is a very hypothetical figure from my mind, so the information would be something which is very arbitrary anyways. So then what we do, we minus actual and the expected and we get the residuals. And when I sum the residuals, as I told you, if I find the residuals to be 0, then or very close to 0, then I can declare the market is efficient. But in our case it is minus 52.97, which is very far. And then I can say that the market is actually inefficient, right? Yes, market is inefficient. If it is 0, then the market is efficient, or close to 0 it is efficient, but in this case it is totally inefficient. So that's all about the residual analysis. We will meet again with another video next with the second test, that is the event study. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.